Capricorn, this is your July 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading for the month ahead. It's Romy. I appreciate you supporting my work, tuning into the channel. Please do make sure you drop me a like and a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports my work. We're going to open up this month with the energy of the Two of Pentacles, and you are most certainly weighing something up, and yet I feel we are on the precipice of a huge breakthrough for you in July, something that feels deeply personal, and you'll absolutely know that the universe has just given you the sign that you've been waiting for. Of course, we're going to be welcoming the full moon in your sign on the 3rd of the month, and this full moon, Capricorn, is revealing something to you about yourself. It's surprising, but it's also deeply validating. And, you know, it may be through the mirror of a connection with someone else. It may be through a change of heart that you end up having, or a readiness, you know, just coming to this really powerful conclusion. But we have to remember it is inextricably tied back to the new moon on the 2nd of January. So I want you to cast your mind back and think about where you were at that time, the energy surrounding you, where your head and your heart was at, the intentions that you set for yourself at the turn of the year. Because even though you may find yourself in contemplation and weighing something up, I think if you go back to the context of that energy, who you were in that moment, it's going to give you some clarity that will help support any decisions and choices that you might have to navigate through the course of this month. So, you know, the full moon is going to be an incredibly powerful energy and really set the scene for you in that first part of the month. Of course, we're going to be working still with both Venus and Mars and Leo, and they really announce to the world, I know what I want and I know how to get it. And yet you have the Nine of Swords here, so there's some stress that's coming along with that realization. And I feel perhaps that's also connected into what you know it means for you in the longer term, or perhaps the way in which it might bring about some more ruckus changes in your world. I have a sense, you know, that you may encounter a situation where you're going to be a little bit let down by somebody, and perhaps some of the feelings that are coming up around that 9 are pertaining to that as well. Of course, this can sort of be a part of this bigger story that we're working with in the shadow of Venus retrograde, which will station retrograde on the 22nd. And we also have Chiron shifting into its backspin the next day. And so, you know, some of the things that we're facing and having to deal with means that, you know, there's a sense of things coming undone or unraveling. There's a lot of negotiation that I see you having to go through with somebody because of the way in which they may let you down, maybe last minute, maybe you know, kind of leaving you a little bit vulnerable or in some sort of situation that is less than desirable. That said, I think it's going to help you to sort of bring to light a lot of what has been on your mind and in your heart, and kind of really needs to be said. And I see you sort of asking the questions of yourself, you know, does this connection, relationship make me feel safe, make me feel supported, make me feel seen? And that's going to really lead to some changing standards. And, you know, when we welcome the sort of full circle energy, if you like, that July is going to be bringing us. Remember, it's your 7th house of mirror energy, which of course then illuminates a lot of shadow work for you. So oftentimes it can highlight things to us that we have been avoidant or we haven't been able to recognize within ourselves. Now, all of this is geared towards growth, is geared towards healing. It's not just coming along to make life difficult for you, but I want you to understand July is one of these months where there is, from an astrological climate perspective, like, you know, quite a large number of squares, oppositions. It just makes it almost like there is continuous speed bumps that are slowing us down, feeling like interference, distractions, nuisance energy that can be incredibly frustrating. But, you know, there's always something to gain and something to learn from that. So as we slow down, we get to really see and feel into and read the energy. Now, I definitely see you much more sensitive through the course of this month than ordinarily you might be in regards to different situations, and so that might even bring about a slightly changed behaviour from you. But that's okay, because sometimes that vulnerability or those outbursts or saying what needs to be said, also brings the clarity, and it will help you to read the energy correctly. You've got another 2 coming in here, and I also want to say to you, the word devotion comes through really powerfully for you in the month of July. And when we move through that full moon energy up to the 9th of the month, Pallas Athena, the asteroid goddess, is going to move into Virgo, and the next day Mars will shift into Virgo. So here we're able to contemplate a new strategy that supports our mind, body and soul, and what and whom we want to devote to. This is not about waging war on yourself or other people. Yeah, sometimes we need to remember it's not who they are, it's where they are. And I think we have to give each other all a lot of space to breathe over the next few weeks, because this Venus retrograde is going to be challenging in more than one ways. It's not all downside. There's incredible blessings that can flow back towards us. You may be reunited or come back into contact with something, someone that you love, igniting that passion and really helping you feel alive again. But the Virgo energy for these 2 strategists is also incredibly important, because it helps you to determine what was not working. And again, where you want to sort of really see things in a new way, in a new perspective. And, there's going to be this deeper sense from you, this intuitive knowing through the course of July that things are falling into place. And if they're not, you're going to be witnessing and being made aware very clearly of what is in the way, or what's causing the hold-up or the resistance, so that you can make that change and allow things to be set into motion. I also see a moment through the course of this month where you're literally holding your breath, Capricorn, and you may even be fighting back some emotions in regards to something as well. We have to let those waves move through us. And, in Cancer season, it certainly sort of draws our focus inwards once again. We have to make sense of our inner world before we're ready to announce, to share, and to publicly kind of express perhaps what's really been going on for us, or what we think, or what we believe. And that's okay, we need to have that moment of inner parenting and kind of really finding that safe foundation with which to move forward. But I want to remind you that so many people would have quit already in terms of where you are and what you've got going on. And you're still here, focused and devoted and determined, and it will pay off, because your 6 of Wands is bringing victory to a situation. It's bringing recognition. It's bringing success where you need to see it. And, whilst that's unfolding, because it's not always on our time, it's on destiny time, soul time, you have to remember that not caring and not attaching are 2 different things. So you can deeply care about someone or something without having to attach to it, so that you become so bonded or codependent on it that it pulls you down or takes you on that roller coaster with it, whatever way it has to transform and transmute and alchemize to get to where it needs to be. So it's very important, I think, that you find those ways to just maintain that sense of self through the course of this month. But remembering, of course, all of our learning really, when we come forth in this physical experience, is through relationships. It's relationship to everything, to ourselves, to our environment, to the people in our world, to our body, our thoughts. And, when we come to terms with that, then we can really contemplate what we've learned, what we've loved, what we've lost, but also the richness of what we've gained on our journey. And the universe says, you're reaching this point of a chapter closing, of completion of something. And you have to be able to recognize it. It's so easy to just kind of sweep it away and move on to the next thing. But July is asking you to stop. And, there's always a wash of nostalgia anyway through Cancer season. And, that might be particularly poignant around key relationships, because it's almost like sliding doors when we work with 7th house. There's a lot of people coming and going. And, you know, that's a positive thing, but it also can feel a little bit destabilizing. Yeah, so as the theme about what needs to be resolved is shown to you across a multitude of different types of relationships, you know, you have to ask that question inwards. But through that dialogue that you're having, also recognize and celebrate how far you've come and the growth that's been achieved this far. Now, notable date this month on the 17th is the North Node shifting into Aries. So this is going to be a major cosmic change. And, you know, for you, again, in this fourth house energy, bringing it right close to home. This is where our growth, our fulfillment, our highest expression of destiny is really highlighted. And at the same time, we have the new moon in Cancer coming in at 25 degrees. There's something around this time that is incredibly auspicious for you, and I would really be paying attention to the conversations that you're having and who is showing up or returning into your world around that time, because they have something to share. They may not even be necessarily aware of it. It's almost like the universe kind of using them to play out a specific storyline in the chapter that you're currently in. And so what they say or what they set into motion, or, you know, the way in which they end up being a catalyst for you in and around that sort of time of the 17th is really profound. And you may not even realize the enormity of the impression or the legacy of that energy interaction that takes place. And, you know, however it comes in, whether it comes in, you know, fairly neutral or quite intense, very emotional, positive, or at the time feeling even slightly, you know, uncomfortable or not positive, understand that it's incredibly meant to sort of set in motion like this domino effect for things. And, you know, as we move beyond that and come into Leo season, there's that rebirth feeling all around you. And you're going to be working with that building all the way through and up to Lion's Gate portal in August. And, you know, the same day the sun shifts into Leo is when Venus will station retrograde. So we already know the themes that we've been working with around that from the 19th of June. So again, think about that. Have an open mind and an open heart, but really take time to do the work, because it is going to bring about healing that's so necessary within you, but also in the context of key relationships and connections in your world. And, you know, with Chiron shifting in its annual retrograde, sometimes it can be deeply tender and vulnerable and really kind of hit us on the Achilles heel. But what we see again for you, Capricorn, this month is an incredible breakthrough that is deeply personal for you. So, you know, not necessarily something that you even need to share with other people, but you will feel the shift within you. And then you'll look back and think, July was everything. You know, July showed me something I needed to see in myself. I needed to recognize about how I'm living my life, what's going on for me, what I'm thinking, what I'm intending, what I'm visualizing. And it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. So if you're new to the channel, Capricorn, we pull the final 3 cards in the extended version of my reading, talk for another 25-30 minutes. It's a way to support my work and just get deeper insights into the month. You'll find that link in the comment and description box underneath. So you'll also be able to receive some insights around a personal question and a relationship advice card as well. I'm going to go ahead and clarify this main spread now and just see some of the guides that are going to be helping shape the direction of that reading for you. So beginning with the 2 of Pentacles, we've got the 6. Well, there's nice movement there, especially if you are struggling or feeling the stretch around finances. 9 of Swords, let's look at this. Okay, 4 of Swords. Chariot. I'm going to pull one more there. Judgment, okay. What about Shadow Work? Shadow Work is like an additional bonus card in this particular deck, for those of you who are familiar. We have the energy of the Fool and the King of Cups. Okay, we have another 2 coming through. It's so important to be balancing your energy out this month, but I do feel these key decisions and choices you're making quite pivotal for you at this midpoint of the year. It's a beautiful collection there. Empress and 8 along with the 6 of Wands. Okay, 7 of Cups. Another 2. Okay. All the decks I use are also listed below. Okay, Capricorn, so let's just look at the Oracle cards now. This is Life Soul Vision. If you are new to the channel and you're not aware of my deck, please do check it out. You'll find a link below, and can see a preview over on my website. Along with my book, Musings, which you'll also find on Amazon. So these are creative projects, channeled and full of love and wisdom and support for you on your spiritual journey. Okay, we have Golden Ribbons of Light. We have the Spirit Horse. Beautiful. We have Detours from the Divine. We have Spirit Wolf. We have Alchemize the Egg. And Sacred Soul Union. Beautiful. Okay, so this is Ocean Dreams Oracle. We will explore the messages behind these cards in the extended. All right, we have Inner Alchemy for you, Capricorn. And finally, a Goddess energy for the month of July. What do we have? You have Bridget, Inspiration. Follow your passion and urges. Beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting my work. If you would like to join me for the extended, we will continue this cosmic conversation. Otherwise, I wish you well and a beautiful month ahead, and I'll see you again next time.